Okay, Lana, so I'm gonna follow up with part two, and I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but I'm gonna finish. I think we were talking about, yeah, so I didn't take the deal, but there was a second deal. And I don't remember agreeing to this military thing, this like military mission or whatever with the Scottish Rite and the drone. But and that's why like with your thing, like maybe you don't even remember like agreeing to a deal either, like because I was really drugged, and like my memory was like wiped, but uh I didn't know that there was like a military aspect, and that I had agreed to something, like, so because all I remember is just like really resisting the music deal, and like the where you have to like sell your soul and like sacrifice your family members, but like I just and then but yeah, they showed me like, because I was telling you like how they had that oath that I was like reading, and then I was like stopped reading it and like walked out, and then they came up with the second deal, but that part I don't remember. But then I was later shown like, yeah, it's a Navy. They were showing like years passed, and then and they there was like a whole grooming to get to this point. Like the grooming started as soon as I got out of there, and I'll tell you like more about that. But like uh yeah, it's the Navy does this MKUltra on people as well. But it's like a secret branch of the Navy, and they're obviously like connected with the Satanic Illuminati. Um, and yeah, like obviously like Raytheon and like Lockheed, Boeing, like they all are involved with this stuff too. But it's not like they're rooting for me to like win. Like there are like different like sides, to this. So, and some of them like would definitely want a war starting over this drone thing. But that's the deal that I took. But um in there getting the MKUltra, like I don't. There was one thing that I remember that they showed me, like, um, and again, I I think they did tell me what would happen, and they did, but I don't remember it. Like, but they did kind of program me for this whole thing with Mike and the drone and like the voyeurism stuff. But yeah, so in there, they used the TV a lot, was like a way that they did the MK on me, like just sitting in that lobby, like when they showed me the commercials and then Jackass and like, but they showed me like an episode of The Simpsons, and like I caught the very ending of it, but it was like, I was watching it, but then there were a lot of emotions going through and like a lot of thoughts. So I knew, so like when I was getting MK, there'd be times when I would know that there's something else going on in the background, like that's really scary. Like they are telling me something, or they are whatever. They're programming me, and they're telling me something, and that's really fucked up. But they're showing me something different instead. But it is that, but it's showing me in a different way. But the way I'm processing it is the way that, so okay, with in there, like I'm sitting, and they showed me like an episode of like The Simpsons, but they're like, it's there's like a periscope that comes down into, like, they're sitting on the couch, and there's a periscope that comes down, and it starts like scanning the room of like Marge and Homer and all of them, like, and then there's like a voice that's like piped in that's saying like, yeah, we're gonna watch you like all the time, nonstop, like no matter what you're doing, even when you're like in the bathroom, like, and it's like this periscope shit that's like watching them, like, uh so, and it's, I think it's off like, it's like an episode where like Marge becomes like a Lyft driver. I don't know. I'm not keeping up with The Simpsons anymore, dude. It's been like, I stopped watching that show like a really long time ago. I can't believe they're still making that show. I think it's, they need to fucking stop that show. But anyway, that was like an episode, and but yeah, the periscope and the spying, and like, I was scared. Like, when I saw that, like, um I was very fucking scared and traumatized. So they told me what would happen. But I don't remember it. But I remember seeing the episode, and like that part, like with the periscope, and like that the voice saying we're going to watch you, like, even when you're like in the back. Like, I remember, I don't know, dude, like, um I'm pretty sure there's an episode, I don't think it's up on YouTube, but it's the Lyft episode. It's like the end of the episode, but there's like some kind of like periscope shit that like comes down. And anyway, dude, so that's like the trigger for this whole thing. But like, did I know that I would be doing this, or like, no. Fuck no. I don't remember anything about agreeing to any fucking military deal or nothing. Like, after I got out of there, I thought, like, okay, holy shit, like, I'm so glad. Like, I turned down the deal. Thank God. Because here's the thing. In another video, I talk about it, but yeah, leaving the mental health facility, like, there was a car waiting for me. Antoine had a car out there for me and was gonna, they said, yeah, we have a ride for you. But what they really wanted to do was, like, just say that I had checked myself out of the hospital, and then they were going to use that driver just to drug me and take me somewhere, and kind of like that I wander off and like whatever, go missing, or they were going to like fuck me up like with drugs and shit, and just dump me somewhere and hope that I would just die or go missing. But then it's like, you know, whatever, she checked herself out of the hospital, and she just left. So yeah, the car. So because I was still like drugged, you know, and it was after 5 days, and they did the electroshock therapy on me, and I know that they did that on you. And another thing that I'll just say, because they were telling me to use this as a reference, was like the birthday thing. Like, in there, they were telling me it was my birthday. They kept saying it like over and over again, like, it's your birthday, like, but it was like so fucking scary. And I like didn't understand what they meant by it, but like now I get it. But like when that was all happening, I was like, this is so fucked up to call this like a birthday, like, but now I get it's like a reference to like the twice born, like, initiated. But the way that they like, it doesn't feel like that. Like, when you're experiencing it, it's just, it feels really icky and dirty and disgusting, and like, you know. But yeah, you're just like finding out how disgusting those alien entities are. And that, yeah, we're getting like recycled, like our souls get recycled. And but so anyway, that was something that they wanted me to tell you, is like, talk about the birthday thing because she'll remember that. I don't even remember what I was talking about, but so the MK Ultra, like, I got out of there. I jumped. They had the car waiting for me, and I got in. But then, like, I saw the driver. I was like, no, this is like a hitman. Like, this is not good. Like, I know I'm gonna get killed. So, like, again, it was like a deep, like, sense of panic, like, hit me, like, really hard. Like, just like when I saw that Simpsons video, like, or when I saw the Jackass, like, there's like different things that I remember, or like when I was like reading the prayer. Um, so when I saw the driver, it was like a big black dude, like a 300, 400 pound black dude, like, and it was like an old, like, kind of Cadillac car. But like a taxi thing, but like one of those type, like, and I sat down. I was still kind of drugged. I sat down. I saw the driver, and I immediately like went for the door, and the fucking door was locked. And then I just like started screaming, and like I rolled down the window. Thank God the window went out, and then I was like, like pulling on the, like, trying to reach, and then like making a scene and like screaming, and I was like even ready to like start climbing out the window. And then he just let me go. But yeah, because like that had happened to me another, it was like some instinct kicked in, because that I got assaulted when I was in Egypt. I lived in Egypt for a while, and a taxi driver locked me in the car and was like grabbing me, and I like had to fight him off, and I like panicked and started screaming, and like, because he locked me in the car and started doing that to me. But when I sat down and I saw him, like, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but yeah, he looked like a hitman. Like, he was a big, like, 400 pound, like, black guy in, like, a whatever, Cadillac. So, and I was, like, fucking out of it, dude. It was, like, 5 days of that shit, and, like, I was just so happy that they were letting me out of there, but they said that they had a ride for me. I didn't know if it was like a ride that was like part of Ridgeview, which was the mental health facility. But no, it was Antoine's people that came to pick me up. But I didn't know. I thought I was like getting a ride that was organized by the mental health. But when I sat down and I saw what, I was like, no, this is so yeah, I made a scene, and because of what happened to me in that taxi in Egypt, I immediately like grabbed for the door, and then when the door, I window and screaming, and like made a scene, and like there was a guy in the parking lot who was just like about getting into his car, like a younger guy, and I just like, hi, like, I'm sorry, but can you just give me a ride? I just like, I need to like um get to my friends, but like I'm just really scared, and can you just um and yeah, he took me to this, my boyfriend, kind of this guy that I was dating at the time, named Amir, who they groomed me with him, and it's a long story with Amir, but I know that they've probably groomed you with people. Like, it's like you'll meet somebody, and then like that person will do something to you, or like that person will have something weird about them, or like, and then like the next you'll meet another person, and then they'll refer to that other person as that person, and like it just keeps going, and then they'll always refer back to that person that they groomed you with, and to show you about other people who are like that person. And and like the code, I'm sure, like with all of that they've given you. And so that's part of like the grooming. But yeah, as soon as I got out of there, because they do all of that in there to you, like they do all of like they do like the weird code word stuff with you. And because they were talking about all kinds of, I don't know if they were talking with you with like the dry and cold and hot, but like, and red, like they were talking like referring to, I guess, ball, like, or they would refer to him as red in there. And then but they did show me a lot too about like the dry being, and like the damp, and because I guess like Saturn, like they showed me like they were good after getting out of there. They were good about showing me what was like wrong with me, like with my diet and with my body and like my body chemistry and like the conditions of my body. Because the thing that they really like wanted me to do was like clear out like all the mold and fungus out of my body, like because I guess like everyone's got a lot of it, but most people are like not really aware. But they did show me like that's all like demons can connect to you through that, and like you should be like purging your body from mold and fungus, and you shouldn't be eating dairy. And they told me I had celiac. They told me like a lot of things, like so like yeah, it was traumatic. And like you know they did try to kill me like after initially like in the parking lot. Like there was like people that wanted me dead. So but then they were like being good to me too, so it was like I know like a lot of people commit suicide after they get MK Ultra, or and I think that that's Antoine was like really hoping that I would do that. Like Antoine probably and Quincy both, they were like really really hoping that that was going to happen. And because I turned them down, but I don't think that they were aware that there was like a second deal that was given to me, and I wasn't aware that I got it a second deal either. Like I didn't remember it, but I like there were lots of fucked up things that they did on me in there that like I couldn't really make sense of. And like that was like after that happened, it took me years to figure out just exactly like what was done on me. And like for years I didn't even know that it was Quincy was involved. I thought it was just Antoine. Uh, and then they showed me no, it was Quincy. Like that shit came from Quincy. Um, which was like, yeah, that makes sense because like what I got was like insane. uh, like uh, like it was there, you know what I mean? It's too like for just to be Antoine. No, it's Quincy. It was like some fucking Michael Jackson shit. Uh, but for years I didn't know. Like I didn't put it together. There were a lot of things. It took time. And I didn't know I would be doing this shit with the drone. So like yeah, I got out of there. And there I did feel like there was some of them that wanted me dead. And like I had they really fucked with me a lot when I got out of there. And I was like I didn't leave my bed for a month. Like the when I immediately got out of there, I didn't like go online. I didn't watch TV or the news, and like I laid in my bed for an entire month, like scared to even like go outside. anything news, like I couldn't like if there was like news on or a television, I would like kind of shield my and try to like block out this because all of that was like MK Ultra. I was like it was everywhere. I was like in just flooded with all of that shit like because they do that to you in there and like they gaslight you and they just like you're tortured with that like and then like so yeah it was like coming through the television to me and like I had to block out everything and yeah I was kind of just left with my own thoughts and like no one to really talk to and like no like I didn't understand what happened to me. I mean like but they were still talking to me. They were talking to me in MKUltra, but then when I left, they kept talking to me. So it was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just kind of like stuck with you guys now. Like they kept doing the weird code shit on me. They kept, you know, taking over like my family members and kind of puppeting and parroting them and because and that's when it like clicked like because I didn't know it was aliens until when I got back out of the MKUltra and then whatever they puppeted what my parent like my dad like he started like saying like shit that they were saying in there the MKUltra like he was saying some like whatever words or he was talking about butterflies and like all of a sudden he started talking all about butterflies and shit and I was like oh my god because they kept showing me the butterfly too and I was like I didn't know what it meant. I didn't but it's like the monarch like programming and but I didn't get the reference. And like I remember it was like at one point at the mental health like facility like my mom she came to drop off some clothes because I didn't bring any clothes with me like I didn't have anything with me in there and like she like brought a bag and had like a butterfly on it like the and like I they kept showing me the butterflies and then yeah like I came home and like all of a sudden my dad's just started talking to like the butterflies and I was like holy shit they can literally mind control people and like um they can get your own family like to it's and because I was thinking like no these people are like in the MKUltra because what they were saying to me was like so specific like so it's like you have to know me like very personal like they would be talking like really really like personal shit like they knew all this personal history all of my personal history all of my family's history they knew everything and they were just like going and like prodding and like really trying to break me down like about my family and like it was a lot of that like so uh I was just like okay dude like I was thinking that they just studied me and they just like whatever they knew about me and like they gave these people like a script but no it was like they're aliens like that were like puppeting people, you know what I mean? Like to say certain things to me that but and so yeah, when I came home and then all of a sudden my dad is talking about butterflies, then it like clicked. I was like, no, these are aliens that they're taking over the person's brain and they're kind of giving them the thoughts and the words and that's they do this and they've always done this but I just am now noticing it like so yeah that's the birthday thing too it's like you know but that's not like some people understand that like there's a lot of people like that do know about those things, but then there's a lot of people that don't. But yeah, it's like really easy to get like possessed by them, and like everybody does. Like, um, so yeah, they were good to me, like with showing me about like my health issues, and um, I don't know if that's true with you, but they really the thing is like they took the clone, and so during that time they were still it was growing. Like Quincy apparently has been to the baby lab. Like they showed me there's a baby lab that they're growing these clones at. And they showed me like Quincy's been in the lab. But then I heard that there's maybe, I don't know if it's true, there's definitely a lab somewhere, but people have said there's shit under the Getty. Like the Getty Museum has something, like maybe a baby lab. I think that would be a crazy place to put a baby lab under the Getty, but that's a rumor. But there is some kind of lab, and yeah, they showed me Quincy's been there. But they did that to me. They did that to you. They did that to Billy. They did that to Kesha. But I didn't want to believe it. Like, but they kept showing me that they did it to me, and like, I was in denial about it. You know, I knew that they took the egg from me, but I was still like, okay, well, how? They can't just steal that from me, and like, because they can, the kid can find its way back. Like, there's DNA testing, and that's like, I was thinking, okay, well, maybe they're just gonna like take it, but then like keep it in like a cult and then like sacrifice it, or like I didn't know like what. But they showed me it's gonna be Mormon. Like there's a Mormon family that's gonna be adopting it. But then they showed me it's like a pedophile, for the dad is like a pedophile. So in the beginning, like they showed me, yeah, they took an egg, and it's a baby girl, and there's a Mormon family, and they're LDS, and they're gonna adopt it. But they didn't show me like how it was happening, but they did always from the very beginning show that it's LDS. And I don't know if they've showed you about the clone, your clone, and they showed me, you know, about it, but then they told me more about it later, like what happened to it, and yeah, that's gonna be my next video because we're already at like 30 minutes, but yeah, I want to just talk more about like the Mars and the trafficking stuff, because that is the real reason why that they get rid of a lot of the MK Ultra people, is like because the cloning and the MK Ultra, like they just don't want those people talking about it, but they're so out of control with it that now people probably do have to start talking about it if they keep taking people, because it's happening too much. And also like people should just be aware that like it's being done, and like they have an addiction to it, and like people do probably need to start speaking up about it, like because they're out of control. But yeah, the next video is more about the Mars and trafficking. We'll just keep going, and yeah, now like the mission to dude, I'm sorry, like it's gonna be like a few videos, but yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll just leave you part 3 for the next video.